All right.
Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Kindness Tours here. We are presenting another segment of Being Heard, Being Healed. Hey, we're about to heal someone. Hello, this is Charlie. He's here to help us to heal. So once you hear him, hopefully you stir up some things inside of us to be healed. And that's what we want today. Okay? So let's get right into it. Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Pilar.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm having a
Good.
good year so far. Busy.
Good. Yeah, that's pretty typical for you. Um, so I want you to just kind of think about some of the things that that was a challenge for you and has been a challenge for you. At least about one thing. So if you could think of one thing, um, one has been one challenge in your life, your experiences that what would be one experience, one of your most challenging experiences in your life?
We talked a little bit about this before this interview, and thank you for having me. I feel honored to be part of your entire project.
Oh, thank you so much.
No,
Thank you.
thank
I really
you.
appreciate. I really
We could spend the
appreciate it.
next 45 minutes thanking
No,
each
thank
other.
you.
Okay. Well, beyond the obvious, dealing with the loss of loved ones, which is probably one of the most painful ongoing processes that anyone has. I guess you then look to your, as you always say, feeling comfortable in your skin.
Mhm.
And I think it takes years to do that. But if you have this training of some sort in faith, I've never really struggled with confidence. There's been times early on in my life where I was embarrassed or nervous, and of course you still get nerves and you're
Mhm.
still unsure when you have to do something that's out of your comfort zone. But I started getting out of my comfort zone at an early age, and I started focusing on the kind of life I wanted to live. And one of those main tenets for how to how to live my life was free time.
Right.
I worked for people from the time, I had my sister's paper route when I was 8 years old, and couldn't wait to like go deliver papers. And I just don't think I've stopped working between school and jobs. So finally I realized that I wanted to be my own boss. And I don't have a problem being a king in some, or being a knight in someone else's kingdom or queendom, but I realized that I have to follow a strong king or
That's right.
queen.
Yeah.
And that's when I stepped into my ideas of really taking chances in my professional life. And so, to answer your question, I would go back to 2001, 9/11.
Mm.
At the time, I was going through uh, a divorce. My relationship of 17 years was starting to unravel, and I realized that I didn't have the words or the training to kind of keep that relationship on track, and I wasn't honest with myself or my partner, and it started to deteriorate. And at the same time, I was starting a business, and a lot of my energy was diverted from that relationship into what I thought I wanted to do as a businessman. And oh, I was just going to tell you. So at 9/11 happened, and I had just kind of launched my business, probably 98, 99, and by that time, I had an office. By 2001, I had an office on Hollywood Boulevard, and it was big, and I had people working for me, and suddenly 9/11 happened, and all the advertising dollars stopped coming. People decided they didn't know what was safe, what's happening, and at the same time, one of my employees lost a major client for me, just negligence, and I got a major respiratory infection, and I was living pretty much in the office because I couldn't go home. We were having problems, and I was dating the devil. So all this came together, and by the devil I mean like, sure, she was beautiful and had a foreign accent, and uh, thrilled me, but it was pretty much the devil himself coming to get
Well, I
me.
guess herself.
Yeah, herself. There you go. So that was probably one of the lowest points, or a landmark in my life,
One of the lowest points.
where I just said,
What was the challenging part? Did you feel that your challenge was staying on track and being focused and knowing what was needed? I guess when I'm listening to you, as far as like everything you just said, I would get like your challenge was just, I guess, being able to keep everything balanced in the midst of chaos. So does that happen to you a lot, or when you have a lot happening in your life,
Mhm.
do you find your challenges being organized?
I have always been told you can't do everything at once, that you need to focus on one thing and go forward. To a degree, that's true, but if if your focus is yourself and your determination and your health, and you're fortunate enough to be able to recognize opportunities and understand your strengths, which takes a lot. Everyone wants
Absolutely.
opportunities, but if you're not ready and if you haven't prepared, I thought I was going to be an actor when I went to UCLA, and shortly thereafter, everything changed. And in retrospect, I look at it and go, thank God I wasn't I was doing it for whatever reason, maybe fame or because it came easy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And had I, stepped into that limelight, literally, I think, God forbid, but I think I might have be dead by now. Who
Right,
knows?
yeah.
Because I was living really fast in my single life,
Mhm.
and after my breakup, and I don't think I was prepared for all those things that came with it, and I didn't know why. So little by little, I started getting closer to the things I love, music, and then I was working in distribution, marketing, and that taught me. I learned from some of the strongest, smartest women in the industry at the time, who taught me to be accountable and learn follow through and all the things that make you a dependable human being, let alone a colleague, a work colleague. So from that, I was ready. Like I said, I couldn't work for a king that was weak, and there was definitely a weak king in that dynamic, and even, I had to get out of there. So I did, and so the challenges are there. There's going to be daily challenges. We have
Yes,
like
absolutely.
flood things and stuff that are
Absolutely.
happening at the house right now, and I didn't expect
Yeah.
that. But I never, for a minute, you have to take a minute to go, okay, I can handle this. You never get more than you can handle. You may need to take a knee and think it over,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no quit. There's no give up.
Right. And everything that you just said, and you look at all your experiences like from then till now,
Mm-hmm.
what do you do now to help yourself stay grounded and and everything and all of the chaos, the floods, the work stuff,
Okay.
get inundated? Back then it was like, okay, how do I do it? How do I do it? But all that experience, you brought it forward.
Mm-hmm.
And now nothing's changed because life is still chaotic and and like unpredictable. So what do you do with all the stuff now, as far as how do you stay grounded and balanced in chaos?
It comes back to what everyone has been saying in recent years. There's so much self-help and podcasts and YouTube videos, and hopefully this one is the one that everyone's watching. But it really comes back to the why. Why am I in this space? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why do I want? And then it becomes the what. But when I'm in those spaces and there's challenges, I always go, okay, why? And in jiu-jitsu, they always say the first thing you need to do is assess the threat. And this is using an